Real Madrid spent 88 million for Tchouameni. The million dollar question is he worth it? In this video, I'll prove that Tchouameni is worth $88 million with the help of data analysis. So when it comes to statistical analysis, we'll focus mostly on passing and defensive action because that's what's the most important aspect for a player who plays in his position. When it comes to passing stats, if you look at his pass attempted was 63, which is 85 percentile, which is pretty good in my opinion. And his pass completion is 86%, which is 73rd percentile. Percentile wise, it's not that impressive, but completion wise, I think 86% for a defensive midfielder is pretty decent. For progressive passes, 87 percentile, which is really impressive. And his progressive carries is in 74th percentile, very good. And now dribbles, he's in 70 percentile, which is still pretty good because he's 6'2", if I'm not mistaken. And for his height and as he's a defensive midfielder, that's pretty impressive too. He's not a player I expect a lot of dribbling from him, but again, the stats suggest he's pretty decent at it. Now let's focus some of the advanced statistics from him. His through balls is 76 percentile, which is good, but not as good, say, Kroos or Modric. Not many players would be as good as Modric and Kroos when it comes to through balls. But one thing that I can see that he's good at is passes under pressure, which is 83rd percentile. That's really good for his position because that's the position which is really important to keep composure when opponent pressure you. In fact, that's one of the weakness of Casemiro, passes under pressure. Now let's focus on his defense. By looking at his defense, pressures 47 percentile, not that good, but again, he's only 22, so he has room to improve. His tackles though is pretty good, 82nd percentile. If I'm not mistaken, Camavinga was 99 percentile, which means Camavinga is one of the best in terms of tackling. Now, which Tchouameni is the best in the world right now is interceptions, 99 percentile. That's the key for his position. His blocking looks pretty poor, only 13 percentile. Clearance also seems his weakness, which is 54th percentile. So these two data suggested blocks and clearing that he's a little bit different than Casemiro because these two are the statistics that Casemiro are good at, partly because Casemiro tends to play in front of the CB or center back. When it comes to aerial duels, it seems he's very good, 87 percentile. And to be fair, having a tall players like him and Rudiger is really good for set pieces. Not only you can defend at set pieces, score from set pieces. Now, if you look at his polar chart from Soccerment, the things he's good at, interception, progressive passes, it seems these two stats is his strength, interceptions and progressive carries and progressive passes. Tchouameni is signed as a replacement for Casemiro in the future. So given that, why not we compare Tchouameni with Casemiro? So when we compare him, we'll focus on the league and European Cups only. Also, to add more depth, to add more spice to the analysis, why not we add Fabinho to the comparisons? Just for the reason, in my opinion, if you look at the CDM now in the world, Casemiro and Fabinho are two of the best. So why not we compare Tchouameni, how he compared with them? I expect some of the stats from him should be better than them. Some of them should be worse. Again, for this comparison, we'll just focus on passing and defense. First, if we compare the spider chart from Soccerment, Tchouameni and Casemiro, green line is for Casemiro, so it seems they're pretty almost equal with a little bit difference. Passing seems Casemiro a little bit better. Casemiro's physicality is also a bit better. Defending, of course, better. Heading, Casemiro seems a little bit better. Tchouameni seems better is dribbling and a little bit attacking. Overall, the difference is not that huge. They're very similar, in my opinion. Now, again, if you look at the recoveries of Tchouameni and Casemiro, they're almost similar. Short pass, Casemiro seems better at it. Through balls, Casemiro better. Chance creation, again, looks Casemiro is better. Shots on target, they're pretty similar. And dribbles, Tchouameni seems better. Again, for long passes, Casemiro seems better, which is a little bit surprised for me. And tackles, they're also pretty identical or similar. So when we compare Fabinho, Tchouameni and Casemiro per 90-minute stats for passing, it seems for passing completion, they're very similar. Tchouameni 86%, Casemiro again 86%, and Fabinho a little bit better, 88%. Now for progressive passes, Tchouameni seems better than both Casemiro and Fabinho per 90 minutes. Another stat that Tchouameni is better than both Fabinho and Casemiro is pass under pressure. Now let's compare the defensive actions among three of them. When it comes to tackles, total tackle attempted and tackle win, it seems Casemiro is better and Tchouameni is second. When it comes to tackling against dribblers, the success rate for tackling for Tchouameni is 42% and for Casemiro 44%, for Fabinho 36%. Again, very close to Casemiro being the top. For successful pressure percentage, they both seem to be on par. Tchouameni 36%, Casemiro 37.2%, and Fabinho 35.4%. Now for blocking, again, as we already discussed, it seems blocking is not his strength. As you can see, Casemiro has the highest blocking out of three. Again, for interceptions, Tchouameni is the best in the world, so he is the highest here. Now if you combine tackling and interception, Tchouameni is the better player here per 90 minutes. For clearance, Casemiro is far better than rest of them. When it comes to mistake that leads to opponents to shoot, which counts as error, Casemiro has the highest error among three of them. When it comes to possession, let's compare all three of them again. For dribbling success, Tchouameni is far better than Casemiro and Fabinho. 76.9% for Tchouameni, 64% for Casemiro, and 60% for Fabinho. And for progressive carries, Tchouameni is better than Casemiro and Fabinho. 4.79 for Tchouameni, 3.10 for Casemiro, 4.30 for Fabinho. Now, aerial duels is one of the important statistics for a defensive midfielder. And it seems Tchouameni has the highest aerial duels won among Casemiro, Fabinho and Tchouameni. 71.1% for Tchouameni, Casemiro has 67.9%, Fabinho has 59%. I think Tchouameni is a little bit taller than Casemiro, so has a little bit advantage, but again, this is pretty good for defensive purpose. Now, the number of recoveries per 90 minutes, Casemiro and Tchouameni is pretty identical, 11.3. Fabinho has a little bit better recoveries, 12.2. So given this statistical comparison, it seems Tchouameni is very good for his age. He's only 22 years old. He's performing very high, almost close to Casemiro on many stats, in fact better in some of the stats like interceptions, and also Fabinho. Thing is that he's only get better from here. His performance will go up, only up. Now if we have a midfield among Valverde, Camavinga and Tchouameni, what could be the ideal way to play? I would say one way could be Camavinga and Tchouameni double pivot, Valverde in front of them as a free role. Another scenario could be Tchouameni as a CDM and Camavinga in the left side and Valverde in the right side. Overall, from the statistical analysis, I think Tchouameni is a great signing and he's totally worth the 80 million. Now let me know in the comment section what's your opinion about this signing.